Hello, everyone. Welcome to our happy hour.
Hello.
Yep, we're dinosaurs. We're definitely in the mood to talk about Drumheller, and we're just waiting as the numbers roll up to get started. So thanks for joining us today. We're going to pop these off because they're very sweaty, but it's great to have you join us. I see Stephen from New York joining us today, and Kim from Saskatoon. It's great to have you. We'll start with a little bit of housekeeping before I introduce this guy to you. Some of you have met him before. He's joined us on, I think, a previous happy hour.
Fiji family.
A Fiji one, yeah. So I will introduce him in just one moment. But first, let's start by going over some housekeeping. Many of you have joined us in the past, so you know the shtick. But just in case this is your first happy hour, they are by no means over. We're transitioning to Zach, and I'm going to continue to help him a little bit moving forward. And eventually, he's going to take over these happy hours and probably have just as much fun as I have over the last several years. It's hard to believe that we started this during the pandemic. Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. There's a chat, there's a chat, and my favorite part of all of this is reading the chat afterwards. We do have Jesse and Tyra on the chat answering any questions or comments. So please feel free to let me know where you're joining us from. If you're having a beverage with us, we'll show you ours in just a minute. Let me know what you're having for your beverage. And also, just so you know, that the footage that we have, that we've taken in Drumheller is taken with our cell phones. So it is by no means professional footage. It is very amateur. The sound is not perfect. You may run into some issues with sound, but don't worry, we're going to send this recording to you afterwards. We're just so thrilled that you've taken the time out of your day to join us and have a little bit of fun talking about probably one of our favorite places in all of Canada.
I would absolutely agree. I've been there probably almost every single year of my life since I was a wee kid. So I'm so excited to talk about it with you.
Me too. There's so much to share with you. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit here. Oh, give me a sec. I always do this. So most of you know who I am. I'm Darcie Guarderas, and I'm formerly the director of business development for Anderson Vacations for the last 10 years. And I have had the best job in the world. And I've had to make the difficult decision to move on from Anderson Vacations because I'm working with Indigenous tourism now. I have my own company, and I'm working with Indigenous tourism all over Canada, which is amazing. I love it. And it really works well with Anderson Vacations because as I help develop these products and experiences, we're going to share them with Anderson Vacations. And then Zach and the team are going to showcase these beautiful Indigenous experiences with you. So if you want to know more about that, I'll definitely share more information. I do have it on my LinkedIn and also my one on Facebook. So if you see it on Facebook, but I'm going to stop talking for a second. I'm going to let Zach tell you who he is and introduce himself and just get to know him a little bit better.
Absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of this happy hour journey. I'm Zach. I have been with Anderson Vacations for about 1.5 years now. I was the product coordinator before this, and I was able to travel all over Canada and all over the South Pacific and see some of the amazing products that we sell. So now I'm transitioning into the role of business development manager, and I'm learning from one of the best in the industry. So I am really thankful to be, having this mentor and to be part of this journey with you folks.
And some of you know this, but not everybody knows this. This is a pretty easy transition because I don't think there's anyone on the planet who's more similar to me than my kid. This guy right here.
Yeah.
So, we are keeping it in the family, which is really fun. And it really, it's great. And I'm seeing him flourish and actually do things way better than I ever did them. So I think you're going to be in really good hands. So I'm super excited to have Zach stepping into this role.
Big shoes to fill, though.
Thanks. Tell them about what we're drinking, Zach.
Yeah, so we're drinking Namesake by Valley Brewing. So it's actually near and dear to our hearts because we actually are family members of that the Valley Brewing family. So it's our cousins that actually started and ran it for about 5 years now. So this is one of my favorite beers. They constantly are sending me them in the mail. So this is actually the last one left that we're drinking. So it's nice to have.
It's great. And this total conflict of interest. Yeah, we're promoting our family. We are. Absolutely. But it really,
by the way.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Join us for a beverage if you can. What's great about this place is it's the heart of Drumheller. It's right in the middle of the city, and it's the place to go if you want to have a beer, sit outside. Beautiful, spectacular gardens in the summertime. Super cool vibe. In the wintertime on the inside. Great swag. Don't you have some swag to show us? They've got really, really great t-shirts and hats.
At the moment,
That's okay. But it's a great, great spot in Drumheller. And actually, one of the beers, the one that Zach just mentioned, the namesake beer, the hazy IPA that we're drinking right now, it's a little bit stronger than I normally would drink, but I actually really like it. There's not a single beer that they make that I don't love. And anyone who's going to Drumheller definitely should stop here for like a snack and a beer in the afternoon. But what's really cool about these cans, if you look at the can, you can see the hand with the coin. Every beer can tells a story, a historic story from the Drumheller Valley. And this one's really cool. And this is a story that I've known for years and years and years, but way back in the day, I think it was like 1911. There was two gentlemen, the first two gentlemen that lived in the area. One was Mr. Drumheller, Samuel Drumheller, and the other was Mr. Thomas Greentree. And they were kind of buddies. I don't know if they were buddies, but anyways, they were kind of arguing over what they should name the town of Drumheller. I guess it's a city now. And they flipped a coin. That's how they decided. And if the coin toss had gone the other way, it would not be called Drumheller. It would actually be called Greentree. So it's kind of cool that it's called Drumheller, and I love it. Very, very cool. So we're gonna get started with our first video. Like I said, hopefully the sound comes through. If not, we're gonna send you the recording later, but please give me some comments, questions, anything you have to say. If you've been to Drumheller before, we're gonna share a bunch of exciting, fun stuff about one of our favorite places and actually really my hometown growing up. Welcome to Drumheller, the home of the dinosaur and my hometown. I'm going to take you on a journey through time to explore this incredible place. And it's not just all about dinosaurs. There's so much more. And that's the fun part. There is so much more to Drumheller. And you know what? It's kind of like the best kept secret around there. A lot of people go to Banff, Jasper, Lake Louise, all great destinations. But for families, this is it. Yeah, this is it for sure. So the Badlands, it's really about the topography, this incredible, incredible valley. And I got to tell you, the first time that my husband, who many of you know is from Ecuador, we were driving to Drumheller from Manitoba, actually. We were driving down the highway, and Ecuador is very mountainous. So we pulled over to the side of the road so he could lay on the road and take a picture down the highway because he'd never seen such flat like road ever before in his life. And as we're driving along, then we hit Drumheller, the valley. And it was like, the way he describes it's like we fell off the edge of the earth. You just fall into this super cool, beautiful valley. And you have a feeling, right? When you drive into this valley, what's the feeling that you get?
It's a feeling of like excitement and wonder and curiosity, and it's an adventurous place. So it's really, yeah. And I can add to your story as well too. I remember when I was a kid, actually, I decided to climb the hills around here, which is an amazing thing to do. But one thing I would suggest to tell your clients is if it starts to rain, never let them do a climb after a rainfall, because I happened to be climbing up the hill, which ended up having me slide down the hill, going face first into a pile of mud, and basically being face first covered in mud, hands covered in mud, and everything. So I was trying to find a photo to share with you folks, but I couldn't find one, unfortunately.
And the funny part is that everyone in our family, including my dad, has a story just like that. So it's a great place to go, but just be aware of that. Okay, so where's it located, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, how do you get to Drumheller? It's basically an hour and a half east of Calgary. So you can get your clients to fly into Calgary, and they can stay a night or two there per se. And then we'd also recommend doing the hour and a half drive to Drumheller and at least, do 2 nights there. It's a place that there's so much to do and see that our, team could put an itinerary together for you would fit your client's needs perfectly.
And we do have a 5-day itinerary already pre-made, right? Yeah. So self-drive. And independent travelers love these itineraries. And the heart of this itinerary is Drumheller. It does Calgary, like Zach mentioned, staying overnight in Calgary is a must. There's so much to see and do there. It goes to Drumheller, and we're going to touch on all these super cool, fun places that your guests can visit. It goes to the Crow's Nest Pass and then Turner Valley as well. So as you can see on this map, it's easy peasy. And guests tend to go into Calgary and they automatically go to Banff, Lake Louise. Have them tack on a couple extra days to go here. They will thank you. It will show them the expert that you are, that you're offering something that they didn't even know about, or that maybe they've never heard of, or they just weren't aware that there's so many cool things to do in this location. Let's go to the next one. It's really about the landscapes, and I don't want to give you too much information. because we do have a video about these hoodoos. But on the right-hand side, those are, they're actually called, they used to be called, or they are called, the technical term is cap rock. We call them hoodoos, and they're beautiful, and they're always the backdrop for photographs when you see people going to Drumheller. Everyone drives out, and they're protected now. They never used to be when I was a kid, so we used to climb on these. Can you believe we used to climb on them? We don't anymore. But on the right-hand picture, you can see that's the cap rock after the cap off the top is gone. So erosion takes place, time changes. We're trying to preserve these things for generations to come because we really want them, future generations, to enjoy these beautiful natural landscapes that exist in Drumheller.
Mhm.
Here's a voodoo, a video of the hoodoos. And the sound on this one, I'm sorry, is really terrible because it was very, very windy, but we'll send you the video. So just take a peek and just really look at the background and see up that hill. It's crazy beautiful. Welcome to the Hoodoos in Drumheller Valley, an iconic attraction that every guest must visit and get the photograph in front of the hoodoos. But it's not just this that guests come to the valley for. They love to climb the hills. I just climbed on top of this hill. Yes, I'm out of breath and I'm out of shape, but what a great way to spend the day. And that's the valley from the top. So looking down, so the Red River Valley, there's the Red River down there, lots of like water sports stuff going on down there. You can go fishing down there, and I think you can do kayak or canoe rentals.
Yeah.
So there's a few things you can do for your guests can do down there as well, but they can go up to the top of this hill and look down at the valley. It's beautiful. And when it's like a really kind of wet spring, it is so green and so beautiful. And every time I drive into the valley and I see the green on top of the hills, it's just so beautiful.
Wasn't that also your toboggan spot as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me stories about
That was
that.
a toboggan,
Yeah.
a toboggan spot. And also some of these hills are places that we used to go when we used to sort of our party places. You know, when you're a teenager, we would drive out and find these fun places in the hills to have a little party. Hiking, as Zach mentioned, perfect spot for hiking.
One of the best places, yeah.
So if you've got hiking clients, reach out to them. Let them know that there is another option besides Banff Lake Louise, or in addition to Banff and Lake Louise. The photo in the middle there is my sweet dad, the best human being in the whole entire planet. No,
My Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa
Yeah,
Joe.
he's the best.
He's the absolute best. And that's actually on top of the hill where we always hiked and went tobogganing. On the right-hand side, you can see that photo. That's a suspension bridge. When I was a kid, it was called the swinging bridge, and my dad used to swing it back and forth till we almost peed our pants. But now it's not the swinging bridge. It's
a suspension bridge, so it's a lot more easygoing and more right for your clients to go across. They feel at ease more.
Yeah,
like your childhood. Yeah,
I'll say for now,
definitely.
It was when I was a kid, but really worth walking. It was actually closed this last summer, but they've opened it up again. And again, great hiking on the other side of the bridge. Super cool. Now there's Horseshoe Canyon and there's Horse Thief Canyon. Both are beautiful. We went to Horseshoe Canyon, and this is on the way into Drumheller. It's a great stop, and it's become sort of a rest stop area. They have helicopter rides from there. I did not do a helicopter that day, but this valley is when we were younger. We used to go down here. Back in the day, you could actually search for dinosaur bones, and you can no longer do that, which is great because it's protected, but it really is a beautiful valley. So I'll let you take a little look at this. Check out the view behind me. I'm at Horseshoe Canyon. It is super cool. It's 34 degrees today, so I'm not hiking down there like I normally would as a kid, but I love coming out here to see all of these amazing layers which contain the stories of the history of this area. And they really are layers. Like you can see the different colors of sediment. And I wish I was more of a rock scientist because I don't know all the stories, but that's the history. Those layers are the history. And there are dinosaur bones. I used to work at the museum there, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but there was actually a guy who worked there, and he found dinosaur eggs in the valley. So it's very cool. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you another little quick story before we get into the museum. The number one attraction is
the Royal Tyrrell.
Yeah, the Royal Tyrrell Museum.
Absolutely.
And I think that's probably one of the places that you guys went, I don't know, every year.
Every year, and it's changing exhibits all the time, which is one of the best parts because I would go every year and it would be something new. So it's definitely something you can go over and over again.
And it's a full day. You need a full day at the museum, but it really is. I mean, dinosaur. See the one on the left-hand side where it's kind of like curved? That's like the death pose. When they die, they curl their bodies up. Well, when I worked there, there was a laboratory. This is top secret. You can't tell anyone this story. Like it's totally, I'm not even allowed to tell the story. But when I worked there was a laboratory in the back where they actually took and preserved the bones. And most of the displays in the Tyrrell Museum are not actual bones. They have the bones, but they use casts of the bones because the bones are very, very heavy. So they're casting them. So they take the real bones, they put this material over it, they make a cast of those, and then they display the cast. Well, one day, one of the pranksters in the lab went outside for a cigarette, and I guess there was a doggy do on the ground. He came in and he hid it within the dinosaur display, similar to the one you see on your screen. And when the guy who was casting it came back to cast it, did not see that there was a doggy do in there. And so when I worked in the museum, there was like a massive, huge display with beautiful bones and a doggy do in the thing. Sometimes people would say, what is that? And so only a few people who worked there knew what it was. But again, it's top secret. Okay, I got to go up inside Tyra. And have you been in Tyra?
I've been in Tyra a couple times, but it's been a couple years, to be honest.
If you look at this dinosaur, Tyra, the world's largest dinosaur, if you look at the right picture in the mouth where I'm pointing my little mouse and I'm circling down here, where I'm circling this tiny little, oh shoot, hang on, I went too far. Circling right here, that used to be the largest dinosaur. So can you imagine how big this thing is? When I was a kid, I was so scared of the other dinosaur. So I can't even imagine how kids feel. I'm gonna take you on a little tour of this one. One sec, let's go to the next one. Here we go.
How do you enter the dinosaur?
Oh, you'll find out how you
yeah?
enter.
Okay.
You'll find out how you enter the dinosaur in just 1 minute. Coming to you live from inside Tyra, the world's largest dinosaur. I just climbed up her butt so I could be inside her mouth. Take a look at this view. Wowza. Look how small the little one is down there. So this is the walk up. So you have to your guests have to be able to go upstairs for sure. Like there is no wheel or no elevator here. So if they have mobility issues, it's not for them. Here I am in Tyra's mouth, the world's largest dinosaur. How amazing. Check out these teeth. And I get a fantastic view of the valley. Let's take a look down here. Lots to see and do. And you can see this amazing aqua complex with a beautiful outdoor pool. Brings back so many memories. Look at these teeth. How incredible. There's a water park down there too. So it's amazing for families. And a gift shop at the bottom. So you can go down here. And I think that, I don't know if they still have them. They used to have t-shirts that said, I climbed up the butt of the world's largest dinosaur. If they had them, I absolutely would buy it.
I think you'd be wearing it right now.
I'd be wearing it right now. In fact, I would be wearing it. Hold on. Okay, so let's talk about the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology. If you've been here, let us know in the chat what you thought of it. I mean, they've added, I think, 9,000 square feet in the last few years onto this museum. It is world class. Look how little I am compared to that dinosaur leg. Like, it's crazy to think that how big they were when they walked the earth. It's just amazing. I do believe that we have a video. You were there. I think, yeah, this is the place we go every summer. And I think that most people who live in Drumheller haven't been. No,
probably not. Yeah, it's kind of
it's one of those things where it's mostly visitors, but it's a must see. And some people go for a day, but they could go even longer.
We spent, I think, 4 hours there last time we were
there. We were at least 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I used to work there. So that's how much it changes all the time, because when I worked there to now, it's very different. What a glorious day to visit the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology here in Drumheller. It's a world-class facility. People come from Germany, Italy, Japan, and Spain, all over the world to see this incredible facility, as well as the surrounding area, which is really fun for climbing, exploring. I'm going to take you inside to see just a little bit more. It's beautiful inside. Her name is Annie. That dinosaur's name is Annie. If you look at the background, look at behind. So behind the bones, you can actually see what they look like with like actual tissue and skin. We're in the bear paw sea. Exotic and a little bit spooky. Take a look around. So this is under the ocean. So dinosaurs weren't just on land. They were actually under the water as well. I think that's a plesiosaurus. I used to know.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, not bad.
I used to know all the names. This is the lab where they put the doggy poo-poo in the thing right there, like just in that same spot right there. But it's really cool because you can watch them working on the dinosaurs, and they do demonstrations. They'll tell you what you're looking at, which is really cool. Because looking at something's great, but knowing what you're looking at is even better. And as you mentioned,
Yeah, special exhibits where they're constantly changing exhibits throughout. So there's always something new. And I actually wasn't here on this trip, but maybe if you want to explain what was going on here.
Yeah, there's lots of things going on at this time. We were trying to get the photo on the right-hand side. Zach wasn't able to come on this trip, but I couldn't get that lady out of my photo. So she's in my photo. So yeah, they're changing all the time. Let me see. I think I've got, this is the Cretaceous Gardens. This is one of my favorite places. And before I show you this video, I got to tell you, this is a place we used to always like go for walks through. It's very tropical and beautiful. And I remember one year when I was working there, the gardener who took care of this, and it was a big job, he actually found, this is pre marijuana being legal in Canada. There was someone who was coming to the museum and was growing pot plants in the Cretaceous gardens at the museum. So Jack, our garden guy, he took care of that and got rid of those things, but it was very funny. It's so pretty.
Check out the Cretaceous gardens behind me. I'm at the Royal Tyrrell Museum, and we are exploring this beautiful area. It's filled with plants, mostly tropical, reminiscent from millions of years ago.
It went kind of quiet there. There's actually a little fish pond there with fish. And we used to throw sunflower seeds in there, and the fish would take the sunflower seeds in their mouth and then spit out the shells and eat the sunflower seeds. It was crazy, really beautiful. And sometimes at different times of year, it's a little bit more lush and tropical. It just depends on what's going on at that time. Tons to do.
Tons to do. Yeah, this is Little Church on the right here. So it's actually probably one of the world's smallest churches, if I could imagine, but it might be, to be honest, and probably the world's smallest wedding too, I would want to imagine.
I would think so. You know what? You got to really, your clients have to just delve in, meet the locals. In the left picture, we went into a tea house, and that was in East Cooley, which is on the way to the Last Chance Saloon that we're going to talk about in just a minute. We went into a tea house and explored, and we were thrifting and buying like really inexpensive like jewelry and all kinds of little fun things. And I met this lady, and I think we ended up spending an hour there just talking, and she was so lovely. And really the people of Drumheller, they're so warm and friendly. Like, I think I've heard you say before, like, I wouldn't doubt if people would invite you into their home.
Absolutely, it's the case. And also, like, if you go to Valley Brewing at the end of a long day, as we talked about before, that's where all the locals are hanging out. So if your clients are looking to really connect with the folks that are living there, that's the place to hang out.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they can really enjoy meeting everybody who lives in the valley. So this is the little church. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear what I'm saying, so I'll tell you it again afterwards, but I'm going to play it for you. It's teeny tiny. It's so cute. Getting married? Well, consider this little church. It's 500 people, 6 at a time. So it seats 500 people, this church, but yeah, 6 at a time. So it's tiny, it's cute, it's adorable. And people have actually gotten married in this tiny little thing with six guests. And you drive along here, and it's on the way to the Royal Tyrrell Museum, so you can stop in there. So this is self-explanatory, but we are on our way to the Last Chance Saloon. And you know what? A few years back, nobody visited there, but we've been going there, since the beginning of time?
Pretty much since I was probably 2 or 3 years old, to be honest, since I can barely remember.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so this is just one of the bridges. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying.
No, this is not bridges over Madison County, but this does happen to be bridge number 4 of 11 on the way to the Last Chance Saloon in Wayne, Alberta, just outside of Drumheller. Now, these bridges happen to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest number of bridges in the shortest distance.
Okay, this is the Last Chance Saloon. Look at the bullet holes in the wall. See the bullet holes right by the picture? I don't know if you can see them on the top right-hand corner. That's a band box in the top corner up there, and it plays. If you ask them, they'll play it for you.
This little saddle that I'm sitting on in the Last Chance Saloon is just one of the unique features that you'll see as we tour around this magical place full of memories from when I was a child.
It's super, super cool. There's memorabilia all over the walls. Absolutely. I think I have a picture. Yeah. So this is the Last Chance Saloon from the outside. And on the right-hand side, I don't know if you can tell what that is, but that's a boar's head at the top of the roof. And there's just stuff from the mining era all over the walls. If you look at the roof, there's money up there. This is where the locals go. And if you go in there and you mention my name, there's a good chance that somebody in there is related to me. And they've probably been there since 9 a.m. Just
Most
tell the truth.
likely, that's probably the way it goes, Drumheller. Yeah.
just telling the truth. Really, really cool place to see memorabilia from the past. They have festivals here, like this history and the story here, and really, and the food is really good. It never used to be great, but now it's really, really good too. Gotta go there. Okay, so we're winding down a bit. You know what I forgot to tell you all? You're gonna kill me. Most of you who know that have been on here know this. I'm gonna ask you 3 questions at the end of this, and I forgot.
I
to
can't believe we both forgot that.
I know, I forgot to
No.
tell you that we're gonna have 3 questions at the end. If you need hints, just email Zach, he'll help you out. And then we're gonna pick a random name out of a draw for anyone who wants to enter. So I've talked about a bunch of stuff, Zach talked about a bunch of stuff. And so there's gonna be 3 questions on one of the slides coming up where you can answer the questions. They're pretty easy, you can probably Google. And you can win. What are we gonna give away, Zach?
We are giving away 2 tickets on a fam in Alberta. So we're so excited to share that with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were only gonna give away 1 seat on the fam, but we decided since there's double trouble, we're both here today, we're gonna give away 2 individual seats on a fam in Alberta. We're working with Travel Alberta to put together a really awesome fam. For any of you who have ever been on an Anderson Vacations fam trip, they are the absolute best. They really are. They're so much fun and you learn a ton of stuff. And I know that there's lots of people on here in the chat who have been on fam. So let me know if you have any great memories from any of those trips that we've done before. Now, the Atlas coal mine, when I heard I was going to visit here, I was like, not my jam. I'm not into old coal mines, but I got there and I was like, this is so interesting, so incredible. Why do people not visit this every time? My parents haven't even been to the Atlas coal mine in the last probably 20 years. It was opened in 1936 and it closed in 1984. And in 84, when it closed, they had it closed for like 3 or 4 years, and then they reopened it as a heritage site. You can do tours here. There's a tour, a train tour, above ground tour, and then an underground tour. And the stories are incredible. I really, really hope you'll be able to hear these videos. Unfortunately, Zach wasn't able to join me on this, so he has not been to the Atlas coal mine yet. Not yet. Next trip, he will make his way there. But this is just one of a couple of videos that we do have at the mine. I'm telling you, it's so worth the drive. If you live in Alberta or you have guests who are going to Alberta, they've got to do this. So interesting. They'll thank you for sure. The Atlas coal mine. Take a look above me. These are the miners' clothing. It's their street clothes. So each morning when they came to the mine, they would attach their clothing to these hooks and they would be pulled up to the ceiling. And then they spend the day in the mine, coming back up completely covered in coal dust, shower here, pull their clothing down, and they could go back home with clean clothes on. Just amazing. So that's the train ride. It's about a 25-minute train ride. At the end of the day in the coal mine, the miners would come into this room, and this is where they'd shower. I have to guess that they weren't very tall, because look at this shower head. It's not very high, but what a cool room. And they left it exactly the way it was when the miners would come in here. And then they'd head to the other room to get their clothing. So this is a group that was on a tour while we were there. So I was talking with them. This is the oldest the only standing, I think it's called a tipple, a mine tipple. It's the only one in Canada that's still standing. Drumheller, this is the last mine in Drumheller out of 139 mines. And my grandfather actually used to work in one of the mines. So it's kind of like really special to our family, but I really didn't know anything about it until I went there. And I wish I had more time. So make sure your guests have plenty of time. And like Zach said, spend at least 2 nights.
At least 2 nights.
At least 2 nights, like even more. And the accommodation there, we didn't feature any accommodation, but there's lots of mainstream accommodation, but also some really cool, cute options for smaller accommodation as well. Okay, listen carefully to this story. This is actually one of the miners. So he volunteers and comes to the mine and tells his stories. This was so moving. I'll let you listen to it and I'll see if I can recap it really quickly so you can hear about the story. Okay, one quick sec, I'll get it going here.
It's good, paid good. I went from $5.60 a day swinging his hammer for a CPR. And we're getting $9.25 a day working in the tipple. And then from there down is now we're talking $12 a day.
Wow, so big bucks down.
Oh, beer and steak. Yeah.
Now, I read somewhere that ponies actually could detect if there was gonna be a problem. They kind of had a second sense and they could sort of feel something was gonna go wrong.
My pony saved my life.
Wow.
I always used to help my miners. If they were putting up a timber, I'd help them put up a timber. If they didn't have their coal car full of coal yet, I'd help them. And this particular day, this miner had had some roof come down, so he was fixing that. And I come in with my pony and I look, the coal car is empty. I said, "Do you want help?" So we started loading the coal. I had hooked my pony up to the car, ready to go. And the pony goes away. And I, whoa, 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 Johnny, where the you think you're going? So I went out. I was at the back in the car, mine was in the front end. And where I had standing, the whole roof came down.
Oh, my goodness.
The horse hears that grinding.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was a pony there that hadn't had some rock fall on his back at one time or another.
Yeah.
He took off.
How amazing. I don't know if you could hear that very clearly, but basically he was in the mine and his pony alerted him that the rock was going to come down and fall exactly where he was standing. So his pony saved his life. He told us stories of birds that they would put into the mines. They put a little birdie in there, and if the birdie, passed out or whatever, wasn't itself, they knew something was wrong. There was gases or leaks or anything. In this particular mine, 13 people were killed in the lifetime of this mine. 4 in one particular explosion, a gas explosion, and then one person went in to save those 3 people, and they actually perished in there as well. So there's a lot of history, a lot of stories, and hearing it come from the mouth of a person that was there and really experienced it is just something really, really special. I could have spent the entire day listening. We were there for quite some time listening to these stories, and that's what travel's about, right? It's like connecting, hearing the stories, like really like delving into the history and the past of the location. So those are some of the videos that we wanted to show you. We have a little bit more information to share with you. The questions are coming up. Don't panic if you didn't pay close enough attention. You've got this guy to send an email to, and I'll give you his email address. He's definitely known to help a few people out.
Good.
Okay, so what do we got?
Yeah, we have many customizable Drumheller FIT packages. So we have an expert sales team, and they're there to be by your side and give you excellent service and basically, give your clients exactly what they need. And we're a boutique service, so we can really customize to whatever needs they have.
Right,
Yeah.
accommodations,
Yeah.
attractions, activities, transfers, and we have sample itineraries. So if you're looking for something and you think, what, this is really interesting, I want to promote it. I want to actively promote it. And nowadays, more and more consultants are actually actively promoting products in Canada. And we got to mention, of course, we've got our Canada product, but please don't forget that we also have the South Pacific. And this guy knows the South Pacific. We're at Fiji.
I'm actually wearing a Fiji shirt right now, actually, just to put that out there. But yeah.
Has Fiji gear on. Fiji, Tahiti, Cook Islands, although the Cook Islands don't have the best flights right now, but Australia, New Zealand, and he's heading off to New Zealand
and Fiji in May. So yeah, if you have any questions at all about that, I'd love to, answer those or set you up with one of our agents.
Wait a second. I think there might be a fam coming up to Fiji too.
I think at some point it might be in the works, but I don't know if you're supposed to spill the beans yet.
Okay, well,
yeah.
remember, we have secrets on here. We have secrets. We have our online brochures, and I know people want paper brochures. I know that, but everyone's trying to be environmentally conscious. So we do have our online brochures, but here's the good news. You can actually download a PDF from the itinerary or the sample itinerary you want to send your clients. They'll get it and they'll know it's coming from you. We want to support you, our travel agency partners, because we love you to bits and we know that we are here to support you and we know that you're there to support us. So make sure you go and look at those brochures, utilize those and send them out.
Absolutely. And this is our travel agent portal at the moment, but just stay tuned to it because we're actually going through some updates on it. So we're going to be having some new incentives coming out. We're going to have a whole new kind of look to it. So yeah, please, if you aren't already signed up, sign up now because there'll be a lot of new and exciting things coming up.
And you know what? Tell people, if you've got other agents in your office who haven't signed up for a portal and they want to come to the happy hours, we are definitely going to change the format a little bit, but they're going to be better. They're going to be better. So, tell people if they don't know anything about them. We love that we have consultants coming from, New York, and we have people coming from Portugal and Australia and all over the place. So I'm super grateful for that. Again, if you have questions, leave them in the question and answer box or in the chat, either one, they will be answered. But we're here for you, and we have resources. So what can you do with the flat sheet?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you need a customized flat sheet, we can put your name on it and you can sell it as your own. And we just provide all the services for you. So you look at the rock star at the end of the day. So if we can do that for you, please reach out to me and I'll be sharing my email at the end for any of you that need to do that.
Did he not sound exactly like me when he said it will make you look like a rock star?
Because I am your kid.
Might be my kid. So last year we were, because of you, we were voted, Anderson Vacations was voted the top Canadian tour operator, and we are so freaking grateful for that. It was amazing. I went to the awards and we accepted the awards. It was so beautiful in Toronto. And you know what? There was an agent, and if you're on this happy hour today, an agent came up to me and just walked up and gave me this most beautiful hug and said the most beautiful things. I didn't get your name, and I really would love to reach out to you and have a conversation with you. That was so meaningful that you approached me. So yeah, we would love if you want to vote for us again this year. We wouldn't be upset about that. So feel free if you get a nudge about Travel Agent Choice Awards. We want to be your #1 provider in Canada. For Canada, of course, we offer Alaska as well, and then the South Pacific. We're here to support you. And you know what? We have great prices and we have great service. We always have a recipe. This one's really special because it's my Grandma G's Currant Square. I know what you're thinking. Currant Square. No, trust me on this. It's beautiful. It's delicious. And it's great with a cup of tea. I mean, even kids like it.
It's amazing. It's one of those treats that you're going to go back for seconds for sure.
And it's a memory thing for me. So if you want this recipe, don't worry about writing it down or whatever. We'll send it out to you afterwards. But it's just like one of those. My grandma used to call it the funeral cake. She would take it to every funeral that she would go to, but it's delicious. Okay, here's the questions. Now, keep in mind, we were going to give away 1 seat on the FAM. We are actually going to give away 2 seats on the FAM. So if you want to answer these questions, I think they're pretty easy. So Zach, you want to read the questions out?
Absolutely. So question number 1, what is the name of the saloon that you can cook your own steak and see fun memorabilia?
I forgot to tell you that you can cook your own steak there. The place, where the memorabilia and the saloon was, but you can cook your steak there, your own steak. So that's kind of fun. Question.
Darcy's been drinking a little too much. I'm going to put that out there. Just kidding. Question number 2, what are the rock formations called that everyone gets their photo in front of? And question number 3, what is the name of Drumheller's largest dinosaur?
So we're going to leave this up here for a second. We're going to talk a little bit more. Then we're going to go to the last slide where Zach's email is going to be. He's also on our Anderson Vacations website. I do want to be a little bit sentimental. I am going to do at least one more happy hour with this amazing team of Anderson Vacations. The hardest part is leaving the people that I work with and you guys. Like, you have been my, I like to say gasoline for the last 4 years, getting me through the pandemic. I had these beautiful messages from so many of you about the pandemic. And I'm like, no, you were my gasoline. Like, you got me through the pandemic. And this is like, this whole design of these was because of you, and you inspired us. So hopefully you found some fun in these, and we're going to continue to rock it and share these. And maybe I'll be a guest visitor on some of them, but I'm thrilled that this guy is going to take on my role. I feel very confident. Like, I'm really, really proud of him, and I'm really, really proud of Anderson Vacations because they have come a long way with this incredible team of great staff. And we do have some new staff again right now, some really great young people who are just learning tons and tons of stuff. So I'm going to jump to the last slide. I will come back to this one. So if you didn't get all the questions, don't worry. The answers, we want them by the end of day tomorrow. So if you can't get these down right now, do please take a photo. I will come back to it in a second. I'm going to jump to the next slide so I can show you Zach's contact. It is zharrison@andersonvacations.ca, or Z Harrison for our friends in New York, at andersonvacations.ca. Like I said, please reach out. You got lots of things going on and lots of opportunities for trainings.
Absolutely. feel free to reach out if you need trainings, any flat sheets like I mentioned before, or just if you wanted to say hi and just reach out and introduce yourself, because I am newer to this. And as well, I also want to say that I know I have very big shoes to fill, and I don't think I'll ever fill these, but I also am so excited to be a part of this happy hour journey with you folks. And if you have any other suggestions on maybe content that you want us to like focus on, please like shoot me an email. I'd love to chat. So yeah.
That's the beauty of it. We're flexible. And the really great part about Anderson Vacations, because we're small and we're a boutique operator, if something goes wrong, it doesn't happen often, but if it does go wrong, this is your guy. You know from the past that if you reach out to me, I would always do everything I can to fix whatever goes wrong. If it does happen, things happen. We'll do everything we can to fix it. We'll do it as quick and effectively as we possibly can. So here's the questions again. We will sign off. We've been about 40 minutes. Again, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know that you're busy. I know. Hopefully we're going to get a little bit quieter and slow down, and you'll be able to breathe a little bit. I don't even know what month it is. February.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're ever coming to Vancouver Island, send me a note. I'm still on Facebook. I know that Jess, our amazing team, and I really got to thank them again. Jess and Tyra they're our team behind the scenes who put all this together. They're incredible people, just incredible. So thank you to you guys. Send a note to them, anytime. We're going to sign off, but we will leave this on our screen. And so you have the questions for just another few minutes. And I look forward to connecting with all of you again very, very soon. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And tonight we're going to a beer and bannock tasting. So we will have the party continue. Cheers to you.
Cheers, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Fantastic to meet you all.
Bye now.